Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 65. Yes, I'm joined.
So.
Always, it is 65.
Yeah, it is. Yep.
Always joined by Braden,
Hello.
Steph,
Hello.
Michael,
Hi.
and I'm Alex.
Are you sure?
And this is the news.
Oh, tonight's top stories.
Whoa!
You're just
This
getting
week
into
in
it.
movie
Excuse me,
news.
this isn't
Wow,
split up.
movie news. Oh, I'm shocked by that movie news. That was an interesting one. Thank you. There's so much movie news here. Wow, I hope we can get all this movie news done. Cutting right to the point. I forgot it myself.
It's going to be a short episode, ladies and gentlemen. Alex is fucking freezing.
I forgot the jingle. My God, what world have we
You
come
forgot
into?
the wind chimes.
I forgot the wind chimes. First of all, just before we do get into movie news, how are we all?
Yes. I love that you've come back around to, oh, no, I do want to do the show. Let's see what
How are we
happens.
all?
I'm good. How are you?
Good? I'm good,
Yeah,
thanks,
I'm good.
Michael.
You're a bit
Steph,
cold.
you good?
Yeah,
I was
good.
gonna
I mean, it
turn
is a bit cold.
You both got lovely beanies on.
Thank you.
Yeah, I thought it'd be.
That's going to keep you warm. You lose most of the heat out of your head.
Okay, Steph.
Look at that.
True.
I mean,
Fun
I mean,
fact.
it's
Biology
true,
with
but-
Steph Rillo. Human anatomy.
Anatomy?
Yep.
Yes.
All right. I'll take it.
I mean,
Better
I
than
guess
history.
it's human physiology. Anatomy's close. Anatomy's more like pointing out body parts. Physiology is like how it works.
Better
True.
than being a
Right.
history major, so I'll take what I can get. Really?
Fair enough. Fair
Yeah,
enough.
and
I don't do
probably make more
biology,
money as that person, whatever we call them.
Physiologist?
Physiologist.
Yep.
Not an anatomist.
What's the news, Alex?
What's the news? All right, I'll get the
Oh,
news
it's
up.
right here, but I don't want to.
Michael, do you want to do the
I
news?
don't want to say the name wrong, so I'll give it to Steph, who likes to pronounce things incorrectly, and we can rate him for it.
Scorsese,
Make fun of Steph's
Johansson.
pronunciation.
All right. So unfortunately, it's sad news, and I'm probably
Yeah, I don't know why we're laughing.
unfortunately going to butcher his name as well. But legendary composer Ennio Morricone,
You try-
Morricone. I don't know where he's from. So
Do you know what he's
I think he does.
Italian. So it'd be Morricone.
All of them. So.
Italian.
Dies at age of 91.
He has composed such things as The Hateful Eight.
Oh, that's such a good.
Ooh.
Yep, he won the Oscar for The Hateful
That's
Eight.
a really good score.
Yeah. He's one of the best there is,
I mean,
and it's sad that he dies at 91.
but he had a good run.
I mean, yeah, he did. He did. He's been in so many things. He's done
Yeah.
Django.
Has he done a lot of Tarantino movies?
He's done a few Tarantino films,
Okay.
but then he's also done work for The Simpsons.
Okay. I
and
thought you were going to
stuff
say
like
The
that.
Sims, and I was like, what?
Are you gonna? Do you have anything to say about the music in The Sims?
The Sims music is fantastic, thank you. There's
Good.
great parodies of other songs in there, in Simlish.
Is there?
Yeah, seriously, that's an actual thing. Like
I
a
don't
bunch
think
of
I'm cultured enough to
2000s
recognise
bands like went and like if you swapped to different radio stations in one of the Sims games, there's a bunch of like recorded versions of their songs like backwards in Simlish.
Simlish.
Actually, one of the strangest things is that when I was playing The Sims 3 a little while back, I was at this spring festival or whatever, and there were these speakers, and a Rita Ora song came on. But like Rita Ora,
Okay.
it's the only song I could recognize,
That's
and it
weird.
was just—it's very strange.
Bless.
Anyway, what are you doing, Alex?
Never mind.
He was comparing how big his phone was to mine.
No, I was doing something else.
Oh,
Yours has
okay.
got a glass back, and mine
Oh,
doesn't.
yeah.
And they're like both. You're in 11, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, in 11 as well. So, really. Anyway, next up in the news, we have the most important news I will ever get is that the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles CG movie is in development. So this is a new Turtles film.
I haven't seen the newest two.
They're not great. This is
2 was bloody fun. It actually committed to the bonkersness of the Teenage Mutant
TMNT.
Ninja Turtles.
Isn't there a rat in these movies?
yes.
Yes, you
Master
cannot watch
Splinter.
them. A gigantic.
Sorry,
Why is there
what's
a
his
plane?
name?
Why is there a
Master
plane
Splinter.
going over right now?
Steph, he's a martial artist and
He's a giant rat.
A rat that can do martial arts?
Yes, and he's human-sized.
I
Do you-
get it.
Sorry,
Yeah.
does
I get
something?
it.
Does something? You get lost somewhere in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles?
Yeah, but I didn't know the rat could do it too.
Yeah, the rat trains
Then
them.
what makes the turtles so special?
Turtle slime.
He taught them. He raised them. He raised them on
All right,
martial
this
arts.
is getting too weird for
You
me.
should watch them. They're great movies. They're like pizza.
I'll cut together a
They're just like-
ratless
is it
version
New
for
York?
you.
The only rat I've ever been
Yeah,
comfortable
yeah,
with
New York,
is
yeah.
Mr. Rat from Ratburn
Rat.
from Arthur. He's all right. And Mr. Rat from Bananas and Pajamas.
Yep. Oh,
He's all right
bless.
too.
Anyway, so this is a new, I believe, fully CGI animated film coming from Nickelodeon Studios and Seth Rogen.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So
So,
I
there's going to
don't
be weed
know-
in it.
Yeah.
Hey, you know those Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles have been getting high as a kite.
So I'm not sure if this means that he is going to be in it in some sort of way, or
He's just helping.
or he's just producing it.
Which turtle do you
feel like
think
that would be
Seth Rogen would be?
I think he would be Casey.
Oh, okay.
He's not a turtle.
I can see him as a bit more of a bumbly Casey, not as much of a like stone cold like.
Not a Stephen Amell Casey.
Yeah, he's
Is
not
that the
going
one
to
that
beat
wears
the hell
the
out of
mask?
someone.
Yes.
Okay, cool. I haven't watched any TMNT in a long time, so
I don't think like
Other
I'm
than
not
that,
too.
he would be Mikey.
Even though I don't really have any plans to watch it, I would say that I'm pretty optimistic about that because Seth Rogen would obviously have some nostalgia connected with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, like 80s, like growing up
yeah,
in
he
the 80s.
definitely smoked weed while watching it.
Yeah, but there hasn't
What
been.
is it with you? And
No,
Seth
it's Seth
Rogen likes
Rogen.
weed.
Seth Rogen will get
I
high as a kite at any moment's notice.
understand, but in the 80s, maybe that wasn't the case.
Probably. It just had to buy it on the sly.
So maybe he's gonna like he might have a real connection to this cartoon from his childhood. He might actually.
I don't know. As a big fan of TMNT, so big of a fan I can't even say it.
TMNNNNT.
Every time he says it, he gets too excited to pronounce the end.
Yeah.
Thinks about the big
Favorite
ninjas.
turtle being Donatello.
Donuts.
colour's
Yeah, that's
he?
right.
Who was the blue
Which
one?
color?
Leonardo, he was my
Of
favorite
course
because he
it's
had the
your favourite.
swords.
You basic bitch.
I feel like any answer is a basic bitch answer other than Donatello.
Donatello's the
'Cause-
best. He's the smart one.
But
Purple?
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
Oh,
but
He's got the stuff.
among the
yeah,
general
yes.
populace, no one liked Donatello.
how come?
No, everyone's
'Cause
favorite
he's-
was Raphael.
He's the like smart. He didn't
the
have an
brains.
interesting weapon. He just had a bow
He
staff.
had a bow staff. That's sick.
It's a big stick.
I like out of. Like,
I'm not talking shit on him. I'm saying what other people say about him.
like as a kid. If we ever played Teenage Mutant Ninja, everyone would go and try and jump on Raphael because everyone thought he was the
Yeah.
badass cool
so
one.
is it Raphael, not Raffaello?
Raphael.
Yeah, it's shortened down.
So what? They've got Leonardo, Michelangelo, Donatello, and Raphael.
yeah,
Yep.
most notably
That really
called
bugs me.
Raph, Mikey,
Leo.
Leo,
And
and
Donnie.
Donatello, and
And
Donnie.
Donnie.
Yeah,
Donnie.
What's a Mikey's weapon?
Nunchucks.
He has nunchucks. Okay.
I suppose they're all named after the Renaissance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
a bunch of these weapons changed in the most recent cartoon.
Oh,
Ew.
that's
Well,
not
it's
great.
like. It's
Also,
like
people
in
did
the-
not like the style of it because they made Raph huge, and they're all different types of turtles, like breeds of turtle.
Oh.
And Raph is the leader.
Well, it's like when they made the first Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie, like the very first
Yeah.
one. They all used their weapons and everything, and it was like, sick, this is awesome. And then the second one,
Are you talking about the most recent, like?
No,
ones made?
the old
originals.
ones.
Okay.
the ones when they had the live action ones with the suits,
Oh right, yeah, okay,
When they
yeah,
had the
I know
suits
which
and
ones you're talking about then.
that they were like, okay, we can't have them use. They weren't allowed to like use their weapons anymore because parents were worried about.
Is this the second film?
Yeah, Secret of the Ooze, which is a lot of people say it's their favorite. It's not my favorite. I love number one.
Yeah.
Number one, they use their weapons.
But
I've
number
only
two,
ever watched the cartoon that was on Nickelodeon. I'm guessing.
in the 2000s. Yeah, you grew up with the most badass one.
Then
Oh,
there was
that
that
was
Double Sword Leo.
Then there was that CGI one, that CGI movie.
TMNT.
Yeah,
I actually quite like that.
I don't remember it.
I know. You know what? I'm more attached to the video game on PS2. So
Can't say I played it. I was never really into it. I knew the characters enough.
Other than
Watched the
that,
cartoon
they
a few
had
times.
they had the Michael Bay ones that came out. Like
Megan Fox in one of them.
Megan Fox in
okay,
both of them.
Oh, okay, she's in both.
Will Arnett's in them.
Oh, love him.
Stephen Amell's in the second one, and Johnny Knoxville's in the first one as the voice of Leonardo.
yep. And then he got cut.
Did he?
It's
Yeah.
very confusing.
Is it Village? Is it
Shredder in the first one.
Shredder? Okay. I'm just trying to remember
Then
how
in the
many
second
names
one,
I know.
it's Shredder again,
But
Craig. Is it?
Craig?
Is it?
Craig.
Krang. It's Krang.
Krang.
Sorry.
It's Krang.
He just split the two.
And Bebop and Rocksteady, played by WWE's Sheamus.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I do remember seeing the trailer to that.
Yeah.
And honestly, they were like the best part of the film. They were bonkers.
Other than that, I'm interested to see what they do. I'm more interested to see like. I want to know. I mean, all CGI I don't like. I would rather a cartoon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
It's just kind of the way I remember it, at least. So.
I don't want live action. I'm done with live action turtles. It just doesn't
Weird.
look good.
Yeah.
I'd be really interested to see if they did a big mix of styles like Spider-Verse, because Spider-Verse, like now being in production, they're like coming out and like having little like comments to the side being like, we're working on some crazy shit. Like stuff that is blending different media formats together in such a crazy way that they can't even stop themselves talking about it.
1 second, and then you go do something.
Alex is busy. He's leaving the show. Ladies and gentlemen, It's here. It's time for Brayden tries to fucking pick a movie for this week.
He's
We've
been
been
trying.
looking this entire time.
So long.
Alex doesn't care because he's cold.
Alrighty.
Michael's going to hit
I
the
guess
news
I'll try and do this.
Go for it.
Constantine live action movie reportedly in the works from J.J. Abrams. I have no idea what that is.
Constantine. You don't know what Constantine is?
Nope.
He's a DC Comics character.
Okay.
There was a movie in the 2000s with Keanu Reeves.
I thought that might have been the one. I haven't seen it.
Constantine.
Okay.
Yep. And
What's he do? Okay, maybe I can put it together if you tell me about the character himself.
He's a magic demon man, and he smokes cigarettes.
Nope.
That's it.
No.
He wears a trench coat.
You're describing a lot of villains and
he had a very short-lived TV show amongst the DC Comics TV shows that they had going for a while. And then his show got cut, and then they saved him by putting him on one of the other shows. It's a very weird situation. Now there was an animated.
so he's not like a major.
And no, he's not a huge DC player.
All right.
So,
So
the
that's
headline-
weird that a live action movie, like out of
A new
things they
live
can
action movie.
choose.
Yeah, I was going to say the headline saying
do.
live action, meaning it's not like they have had anything other than live action in the past.
Yeah, there's a lot of DC Comics animated films that just don't get talked about because, and some of them are amazing.
They just fall onto Cartoon Network and
Yeah, people don't
never
care.
been seen.
Like
They
then,
said-
Well,
they're
that's
not-
how it used to be at least.
Yeah, they're not in mainstream media.
It's unclear if it's going to be a reboot or I would say then it's like a sequel
I
or something.
imagine it would be a reboot. I can't imagine they'd get Keanu Reeves back again to
No.
play Constantine
I
after
think
the
he's on
first
to
film
bigger and better
wasn't
things.
that.
It
wasn't that
It was
good.
not that good.
Nah, it's just very bland.
Okay.
And especially with like just better shit out. I'm very surprised at this news in general. So
Yes.
I really like the first Constantine movie with Keanu Reeves.
Okay.
I'd be interested to see him coming back. It's been a while since I've seen it, but I remember enjoying it.
I've never seen it, never heard of it.
Maybe
so.
you shouldn't go back and watch it from what I've been hearing from Brayden. Maybe it's just
Well,
I mean, yeah, it's a 2000s superhero, but not movie. Like because he's not really like he's a bit grittier and tougher.
so he doesn't really have powers. He's just sort of
Oh
like,
no, he's a full on
magic.
like
He said
He's magic.
demon
He said
slayer.
magic demon.
Okay. I just thought like
Magic
All right.
demon.
The Gathering.
Magic the Gathering.
always saw the DVD
he whips
cover.
out his deck and
I
he plays some Magic the
always
Gathering.
saw the DVD
Yeah,
player
this movie's
at,
also got a cult following as well. So
Yeah, and so
Blockbuster.
did the TV show for a while. People really did like the guy who played him on the TV show,
well, he's appeared in other things now too as Constantine.
which is crazy. But yeah, he's just a
Okay,
magic dude.
maybe seeing the pictures of Keanu, I kind of get a bit more of an idea.
He is dressed the exact same as every other film that Keanu Reeves is in.
True.
And
He
his
is.
name is John, which is also Johnny, and he plays Johnny in everything.
All right.
He plays a character named Johnny
I mean,
in as much things as
that
possible.
also works because if we go to what we've been watching, I watched John Wick.
Oh, what did you?
Yeah.
We don't have a jingle for what you've been watching.
We do not.
don't.
Didn't you say last week, next week we will have a jingle?
Yeah.
Is it
He's
just
been busy with exams.
Had
I'm
exams.
not saying
Is
anything.
it, has
I'm
it not
just-
been a really fast week? Is that just me? I feel like this past week has flown by, and it might I feel like I was here recording this with you guys yesterday.
The past few days have gone pretty fast. But that's about it.
Like I'm just
I
lost.
concur.
You concur?
I concur.
All right. I mean, not much else, but I really like it.
I mean, John Wick's a great time,
Yeah.
especially the first one.
Still haven't seen them.
They get weaker.
You reckon?
Yeah.
I haven't watched number 3 since we
think-
saw it, so I'm slowly gonna watch 2 and 3 and
3 is one where like I've watched a few times after, and every time I watch, I'm like, I really wish this was the last one
yeah.
because I don't know where we're gonna go from here.
Yeah, I know.
What?
I mean,
there's not
every
the,
time I
that's not
think
the last
of
one.
anything
Huh?
That's
John
not the
Wick
last
Nah,
one.
they're doing 4.
that wasn't from number 1 is the end of 2 because that got me so high.
Yeah, the end of 2 is so.
It's such a great ending.
That is like that was so cool.
That's why
Trying
I
to
was hoping-
describe how awesome that ending is without anyone without the person I was telling about not really understanding the universe and stuff
Yeah.
was so hard without me just saying.
Which one did you watch? You watch all 3?
No, I've only watched number 1 right now.
Ah.
We're gonna watch 2 and 3 at some point. Other than I finally got around to rewatching Bad Times at the El Royale.
It's a good move.
It is. I forgot how intense it gets at times, and like especially, I mean, it's been out for a while. If you haven't seen it,
Go see it.
go
I
see it
definitely-
quickly before I spoil.
yeah.
I always remember how taken back I was when John Hamm died. So
yeah, the
early.
ham sandwich gets shot.
Just gets shot with a shotgun.
Ham no more.
Yeah, that movie was all right. It was good. It wasn't like spectacular.
It wasn't.
but it's-
It was trying to be too much Tarantino. Then it
Yeah.
got lost of what it actually was itself.
yeah, it tried a bit hard to be
Like,
very cool.
I mean, I feel the ending, especially the ending, pulls it back together a lot.
The whole
With when Chris Hemsworth rocks up as a sexy cult leader.
it kind of dips a little bit when they start trying to like, and when everything starts unraveling, and then Chris Hemsworth comes in. It gets a lot more uptent and tense in that situation, and then.
yeah, well, he can fix anything, can't he?
Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
You
But
fixed my car the other day.
and then I finally got around to watching the Apollo 11 documentary. 'Cause
Hey.
Alex lended me the Blu-ray.
How was it?
Hello.
God, it's
I'm
fantastic.
Alex.
Is it?
Yes,
Can I borrow the Blu-ray?
Everything
Yes.
he said,
Fine.
I agree with. Like, it's so cool seeing all that footage, having just the only narration that's over it is stuff from that time, which is just like
broadcasts of them.
broadcast, like news sort of things, and like just listening to like the control center people talk.
Love those primary sources.
It looks so good though. Like
it
all the
look-
old footage looks beautiful.
Like literally, when they like zoom in on like the like rocket taking off, they zoom right in on the boosters and stuff, and it just looks
looks like it
cool.
was filmed today.
Yeah, and even the shots of like the astronauts took as they like were orbiting the moon look so clear and so cool. And like you got the footage of them like land, like it obviously is like underneath the module, but as they're like descending in the module and coming down to land on the moon, they got footage of that. They have footage
There's
of
a
like,
bunch of like never before seen
yeah,
footage.
and they're
in
like
that.
That's really
obviously
exciting.
like so Mike Collins in the one that was orbiting the moon was like filming, like they had a camera like looking out, so like in a split screen they showed what the module sees and what the lunar orbiter sees as they're coming back together to dock. It's so cool to watch. I was just sitting there with my jaw on the ground. Oh, I was in
Okay,
heaven
I'm
for
very
about an hour and a
excited
half.
then. I have to watch it next. Come back next week. I'll have watched it.
Yeah, no, it's a very like I said, it's one of my favorite. It's probably my favorite documentary.
It is hardcore my favorite
Ever.
documentary.
It's and especially with the simplistic animation showing you how each part of the ship breaks apart and goes back together.
It was literally in that sort of just like
The docking
white,
sequence.
like white lines, black background, sort of that era animation of just like it
simplistic,
flipping
but
apart,
you
spinning around. It wasn't like smooth animation. It was kind of like a bit jagged.
All right, that's
It's really
awesome. I'm
cool.
very excited for it then.
it's great and it's just awesome. It's just sick.
And like to demonstrate like how far away they are, they literally just put a picture of like not even Earth. It's just a circle. They have like this sort of figure 8 shape around them and just kind of point to where they are.
Well, see, I never knew that in order to get to the moon, they had to do like 2 laps around the Earth
Yeah.
to get momentum then going,
Yeah.
which makes perfect sense.
That happens a lot, like especially with all those probes that they send out, like Voyager and stuff. They use a lot of gravity assist, so like they'll aim for Jupiter and they'll aim at it in such a way that as it comes around Jupiter, it won't stay in orbit; it will just sling back off, so they don't have to use all this fuel to change direction and stuff.
It's just a lot of fun.
It's really interesting.
Space is crazy, hey?
Yes.
You guys see all the news about space lately where like these 2 black holes merge together and they're trying to...
I always see that.
Yeah,
That
they're
is,
trying
like,
to follow
half
light
the stuff
through
I
it.
do.
It's crazy, man. Your universe is mental.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
There's so I find myself watching a lot of science videos on space.
I have mini existential crises when I think of like just how insignificant the Earth is
Oh,
in the
yeah.
great expanse of just the entire
And all that
universe.
shit happened so long ago that we're only just seeing it now. That's
Yeah.
the crazy part.
It's insane.
For scale, like thousands of Earths can fit inside the sun.
Yeah.
Thousands upon thousands of the suns can fit into the biggest star we know, and then thousands upon thousands of those stars can fit into the largest black hole we know.
Yeah.
Scales of like kilometers. Just
Anyone else
don't add up.
having a like existential crisis at the moment?
It's
Nah,
just,
No, because
I
I
think space is cool, man.
yeah.
it's awesome. Have you been on? There's a website you can go on. I
The
think
Final
where
Frontier.
you use just the scroller, like the scroll feature on
As
like
you
a mouse,
scroll out,
and
it
it scroll-
just
and it-
scales everything.
Yeah, and it
Now,
shows you like traveling.
The coolest thing I saw on Instagram is someone sort of animated the speed of light into like a comprehensible sort of thing, and they sent it out in like blips. So they had like Earth as a little small dot, and it was like just like a ripple effect, and like it was pulsing every so what seconds, and it seemed all right. But when they got into the scale, even just the solar system, all those lines bunched up, and they didn't look like they were moving. Like,
Jesus.
and like light's the fastest thing.
Yeah.
I'm
that's
glad we all
insane.
like space here. Some people just aren't interested in, and I
think it's cool.
I could sit here and talk about it.
It also
all day.
scares the shit out of me.
it's
Oh, yes.
terrifying.
The fact that like if you could just like Gravity, I mean, it's not a great film. That really cemented my hate for space.
Would you guys?
I
So
couldn't watch
would
the
you go to
trailer.
space if you were given the
Yes.
chance? Like
Actually, Gravity is a good film. I gotta stop talking.
If
shit
you were
about
given
Gravity.
a
Gravity was
ticket-
fine.
It's not so scientifically accurate.
Elon Musk
No,
is
it's not,
sending
but
people
neither
to
is it.
Mars.
It's just dramatized. That's
I feel
about it.
yeah. I feel like the problem with Gravity is that it tries to make it look scientifically accurate, but it's
If
not.
Elon Musk is sending people to Mars and you can buy a ticket, you can afford it, would you go?
I probably wouldn't go to. I'd probably rather just go to the moon. Like if that was more of a
I'll take a
viable
day
All
to
right,
shit
well,
the
it's
moon.
not just like a go on Webjet and pick where you want to go, Mike.
Well, if he
You
can
gotta
get to Mars, we can go to the moon.
That's the sort of thing. It's going towards like commercialized
Yeah.
thing. It's probably not like you can just go to the moon. It'd be like into orbit sort of thing.
That's what
I
they do
actually
with
heard there's like
Astra.
a hot air balloon type thing that's going to take people to the stratosphere, and it's costing about $180,000
Yes,
or
it's
something
very
like
it's
that.
a very expensive
Okay.
thing.
Day trip.
Day trip to
Day trip
to
the moon.
space.
I was wondering if food was included. Like you'd hope so. You'd hope
Get
so.
a packet of peanuts.
Some nice refreshments. Like
Is it literally just a lawn chair?
That's it. That's all it is.
Lawn chair. They got like a little. It's one of those deck chairs, but it's got like the little compartment for food and drinks
Yeah.
in the arm, and you just zip it back. You have a choice.
But you also have to pay depending on what you take out. There's a weight in it.
Oh my god, it's
You
like
put your
a
coins in the other
hotel
side.
mini bar.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
pay wave on the other side.
These mega corporations making $10 out of me from my $1 million
It's been
trip.
a thing for like, because I was like, this is something I was really interested in, like as a kid, and I kind of died off for quite a while. But like even when I was younger, it was like some of those like the like sort of proposed things of like sort of commercial ships that would go in like just into orbit and back down, like wouldn't orbit the Earth at heaps. You just kind of go into things.
Yeah.
That's
but
it,
I
man.
really, the one thing I want to do, and it's probably the closest you're going to get without being an astronaut at this point, is those planes that simulate zero G by just doing up and down.
Yeah.
And they look so fun.
well, you could be an astronaut.
Patreon.com/millennial movie talk. Get us in one of those planes.
The spaceship, the new space center's coming to Adelaide. You could be an astronaut.
Yeah.
It could.
Hey,
I-
reach for the stars,
most
literally.
astronauts are engineers and stuff.
I
You're an
honestly,
engineer, aren't you?
I
Just
would
doing
prefer
science.
to, rather than go to
Work
the
harder.
moon or go to another planet or anything, I'd just like to go to the space station. Just go and hang out at the space station for a little while.
I did find out a weird fact. It was either 2000 or 2002 was the last time every human being was on Earth.
Yes.
Yeah,
That's
2000 I
crazy.
think it was.
2000, yeah, something like some point in 2000 was the last time every human was on
Was
Earth.
here.
Because
And now
ever
there's not.
since, there's been at least one person manning the space station.
So cool.
Yeah, look, I could sit here and talk about this all day.
Alex,
What
you look
else?
absolutely miserably
Someone
cold.
else, what have you been watching?
Well, we all watched. Well, three of us watched something.
Yes.
Yeah, I was a bit
on
busy, so I
Saturday,
was-
something big, something we've
Yes.
been talking about for ages because we love it so much.
Wanted.
Yeah, we watched
God,
Wanted, you know, the James McAvoy's A Little Tacker, Chris Pratt before
Angelina
he was famous.
Jolie.
Angelina Jolie, Morgan Freeman.
I can't keep up this
Common.
charade any longer. Can we tell them what we watched?
No, we're talking about Wanted.
We have to watch. we
Wanted
watched
was
Hamilton.
surprisingly fun. No, yeah,
No,
we
you're
watched
speak-
Hamilton.
Let the man speak about Wanted first.
Oh, wait a minute. We're talking about.
There we go. That's all you need to know. They watched Hamilton.
Yeah,
We
Hamilton.
watched Hamilton.
You guys have watched it 3 times now.
Yeah,
Love
I-
it. We both watched it 3 times.
I've watched it once.
I was
Cry,
patiently waiting.
cry every time except when I watched it with Alex because I don't want to cry in front of him because he'll make fun of me.
That's fair.
Yes, you will.
So
I'm not sure if you guys
rude.
noticed.
So untrue. Oh my god.
I only make fun of my mom when she cries in movies. She
There's-
cried in Mamma Mia.
There's
too.
a heavy reason
So
I was
did
being
you.
very quiet towards the end of when we were watching it. It was because I was a wreck. And as someone who was like, watched it before and like listened to it countless times, knowing exactly what's going to happen, knowing the lyrics of what's going to happen, knowing the staging of what's going to happen, I was a mess. It hits so much from their fucking close-ups on their faces, and some of it is just gorgeous.
Yeah. Oh my God. It was so well directed. Like, it's just seeing, unless you've got heaps of money to be in one of the top seats or one of the top performances. Like, even when I saw it in the West End, I wasn't sitting that close. I was sitting quite far, actually. So I couldn't see the expressions on their faces, and they are genuinely acting.
Yeah.
Like
These
that's what it is.
These performances hurt. Like they hit home, and when they're being all like chummy and friends and everything, they're like it like warms your heart. And when
Yeah.
they're being like sort of against each other, you can see and feel the
Yeah.
tension between these characters.
Yeah, that's
It's-
it.
And the different performances between the same actors playing different characters. That you can see their nuanced little performances.
And we've all got, I think, different favorite songs. Mine is The Room Where It Happens. That's my fave.
You put me on the spot here. This is terrifying.
Closely followed by What Did I Miss?
Wait for it. So,
Can't speak today, buddy.
closely followed by What Did I Miss?
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Are you just cold, Alex? Is that?
No, I don't know. I just stumbled across words there.
That's fine.
He's still too excited about TMNT.
I honestly,
Yes.
my favorite song. I'm not sure if it's my favorite song, but it's one that sticks
don't
out that I like talking about. No, because all of them are my fucking favorite. I love this show.
Even Even
Skylar Defeated.
Yeah, Skylar Defeated.
I don't know the words.
That's not Skylar Defeated.
Which
Skylar
one's the?
Defeated is like, Grandpa's in the paper.
Oh yeah, that one. Well, where he does Skylar Sisters when the two of them do Skylar Sisters, but he's just about to go and, have a fight. Is it that one?
Let's take a break.
Let's take a break.
Take a break. No.
Skylar Defeated is like, since when were you a Democratic Republican? Since being one put me on the up and up again.
Yeah.
Come on, Braden.
Goes for like
You gotta
30
lift your
seconds.
game.
It's a very short one.
Yeah,
There's
right.
42
I don't know
songs.
it.
Michael named 3 songs.
46 songs.
Anyway, the one
could do it. I reckon you
that
could do
hits
it.
hard that I
I reckon you could do this.
don't think about too much, but then when I hear it, I go, "Damn, I fucking love that."
'Cause we
It's
just said
Wait
two.
for it.
Wait for it is good.
Leslie
Yeah,
Odom
that's
Jr.
Alex's
singing
favorite.
"Wait for It" is phenomenal.
That's why it's my favorite. I love the piano behind it.
Yeah,
It's very
just
good.
stunning.
The words, I love the lyrics in that one. Like
It's
just
it hits home. So there's one line in it that I love because it was like stuff, like it was a word I didn't even know the meaning of, and I googled it and I was like, "That's beautiful." Is I am inimitable. I am an original.
yeah.
And inimitable is like you can never be like reproduced. Like
Yeah.
you can never.
Yeah.
Imitable.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
you didn't know
incredible.
that?
You
I
can
didn't
never
know
be
that.
imitated. Is that the word you're
Yeah,
looking
that's
for?
it.
Or obviously, Lin-Manuel Miranda's lyricism in here is insane. It's so
Yeah.
good.
And like it's actually quite interesting because I mean my favorite being The Room Where It Happens. That's what he has a little bit of a dig at Burr in Wait For It. He goes, "You get nothing if you wait for it," and he does the whole
it's
like
fucking so good. I love it.
it's just such a good show. And
Yeah.
yeah, it makes you cry. It's just fabulous. I watched it, we watched it 3 times in the space since Saturday. So the music doesn't get tired at all.
No,
It's
it
so
doesn't.
good.
I'll watch it eventually.
Everyone should
I know,
watch
I'll
it now that you've
definitely
got
be
the
jumping on it
opportunity.
soon.
There's a minute pee break.
I think my favorite lyric in it though is, "Are we a nation of states? What's the state of our nation?"
That's
Yep.
good. That's a good one too.
So good. God. Lin-Manuel Miranda, just beautiful man.
Can't wait for the In the Heights movie to
Hell
come
yeah.
out.
It's eventually come out.
Yes.
It's going to be out by now.
Yeah, but we will go and see it the second it comes out.
So is Ghostbusters.
Very excited.
Intent.
Alex is very sad that all these movies aren't out because the rest of the world can't get their shit together.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
is a call out to everyone else, everywhere.
Yeah.
Get your shit together. We're here in
Mainly
Adelaide.
you,
don't have to
Victoria.
yell.
We're fucking doing
You don't
great.
have to yell.
Yes, because the rest of the world need to organize their shit. Stop being dumb. Stay inside for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
You're fucking fine.
We also watched 2 other movies altogether apart from Sans Michael. We
Comic
watched.
Sans, Michael.
we watched.
I would not like to be related to Comic Sans. Thank you.
So we did watch
we
Wanted.
did in fact watch Wanted. Not much to say about that. It's shocking.
It's not great.
It was.
They-
we had a fun time.
Spoiler
there.
alert.
It's like a 2 out of
The group
5.
is like a assassin cult,
Yep.
and they follow the advice of a magical loom.
Loom.
A magical,
But no,
magical
but this
loom.
is
What
this
the
is
fuck? I
this
mean,
is the thing.
It's
They
called
don't
the Loom
even
of Faith. The Loom of Faith.
they don't even specify that the loom is magical. They just generated a secret code.
Yeah,
that
they made their
that
own
makes
code.
binary back in the whatever the hell whenever they said it, and that translates to letters, which then become a name based on a square of cloth.
I mean, you got quite lucky having all the vowels and like managing to spell
It's
names.
just stupid.
Oh, it's the most ridiculous thing. That's all we should. That's all the time we should give to that movie. We
bullet
also watched
bending.
Pretty dumb.
Bullet
also
bending.
watched-
Very dumb.
Bend a bullet around a corner.
Summer Wars.
Summer Wars was actually
Summer
good
Wars
though.
was fabulous.
This
I loved
was
it.
bonkers from start to
It
finish.
was awesome.
Like, because it starts and you're like, oh, this is a really interesting world they're setting up and everything.
It's very unique.
Well, now we know why it's good.
And then it just,
Yeah, here we go.
Alex found this out afterwards. Dan loved it. And Alex, would you like to?
Just because, big things have small beginnings. It's Digimon, baby. Same guy who's worked on a lot of Digimon properties. Directed the Digimon movie. Directed a few episodes of Digimon. Just,
It was a very
Round of
warm
Stitch
movie.
From the bottom, now he's there.
I
Yeah.
felt very warm. Like I liked.
Digimon's the bottom?
No, that's the top.
I liked all the
He started
characters.
pretty high, went high.
It's a memento thing. It's backwards.
Alex, all the characters in the family. That was probably my favorite part. I preferred the real life stuff compared to the
rural
Oz stuff.
family drama.
I like
Yeah.
the family drama too.
yeah, the
I
family
love the
drama
uncle.
was
We all know I love the uncle.
excellent. Yeah, you fucking love the uncle, of course.
We forgot
another
to
person
shout
she
out
wants to
David Diggs.
marry?
We forgot David
David
Diggs.
Diggs.
I was gonna say we forgot to shout him out in
That's Thomas Jefferson.
Hamilton, and Lafayette.
Mainly it's Thomas Jefferson though.
Both.
Yeah. No, Thomas Jefferson takes it.
I
away,
mean, he
but
won
anyway,
the Tony for Thomas Jefferson.
He's just fabulous.
He won the Tony
Everything else.
for like he deserves every award possible.
Anyway.
That man is amazing.
Yes, so we forgot to shout him out. Had to shout him out. Now,
Thank
Summer
you.
Wars. Uncle was awesome. Love the whole family.
The twist in the first 10 minutes of like, hey, you think it's about to be this like Ready Player One Digimon-esque Japan infrastructure shit. And then all of a sudden it's like, yeah, no, we're going to just have some rural family drama. And like this 90-year-old grandmother has a really big
She's
family.
got warrior blood.
And then it just twists on there. And
I like the comedy in it, and I really liked. We watched the dub, and
Yes.
it translated well, and
Yeah,
the
it
acting was
fit
quite good.
excellently.
It seemed very Western, really. I mean, aside from a lot of the Japanese cultural bits, I feel like the actual dialogue spoken
Yeah.
was very
I
Western.
like the DSs.
oh, yeah, brands in this everywhere. Like everything is a brand. There's like
there was
Adidas.
Kodak. I saw Kodak.
Yeah, there's everything.
Yamaha?
7.
Yeah, Yamaha. There's just so much in there, and it was just hilarious seeing stuff not be like fake stuff. It's like, oh, that's just a Nintendo DS.
I saw some ints. I saw some functions. I saw some for loops.
Oh,
some
you
while
saw
loops.
lots of coding and math, didn't you?
Yep, some for loops, some wild loops.
What's your review of
Some
the
if
coding,
statements. I didn't
Alex?
see it too much.
Alex,
to
any
review it.
film with coding in it, I now want reviews on how realistic it is.
Oh, nothing. When they go like this, and they
can't
don't have an
hack it.
error in their code, and you're just like, yeah, it's just like that's.
It does have
unrealistic.
one realistic thing of like typing shit though, where they just happen to stuff up one character. And-
Yeah, that's at the end though. But like in
Yeah.
coding, like you have a variable, and you're like, damn, I misspelled it in one place. And then most coding things would not tell you where your problem is. So you have to read through all of your code. And then you get so pissed off because you're just like, well, it's a little like spelling mistake.
Yeah, you might
Literally
have,
just got 2 letters around the wrong way. Yeah.
or you might have accidentally hit the comma key while you were typing. Just dumb
There's
shit.
a lot of dumb shit you can
Yeah.
happen.
Yeah, but yeah, Summer was really good.
Yeah, I really liked it.
Dan's recommendation was
It was spot on.
excellent.
Yeah. And just to finish, I guess, I know these are all things that we've watched, but I only watched one more thing separate to you guys, and that was Black Clansmen. Seen it before, talked about it before. Love it.
Very good
Great.
movie.
That's
Very
it.
nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Is that because you watched Inside Man? Is
Pardon?
that because you watched Inside Man?
Yes, and now I need to watch Da Five Bloods. I need to watch that.
I
movie.
still
Yes.
need to jump on that one.
Yeah, that's the next one I have to watch. I am going to go back and watch some of his earlier stuff as well. She's got to have it, definitely.
Well, I mean, no one's actually, fully conquered Spike Lee until you play 2K and go through the career mode.
Yeah,
so-
you have to play the career
done that?
mode of 2K16.
I can't remember
18.
which one, but oh god, there was a couple of years
Wasn't-
where it was unbearable. To
Wasn't
go through.
Michael B. Jordan in one of those?
He was in one of them, but like they always got like annoying side character in it, and
Yeah.
you can't skip the cutscenes. They finally did it this year,
Yeah.
for the first time ever.
It is
What's wrong with the
horrendous.
cutscenes? That's where the story is.
Oh,
No one
they just
cares,
have
it's not playing
really
basketball.
No, but
annoying characters.
Steph,
Oh,
they're not good. They're not. It's not good
Oh,
in
okay.
any means.
I don't play NBA.
I'll show you some things like some. If I see if I can find some on YouTube and show you how annoying these
I
characters
look
are.
forward to it.
I watched one other thing, which has just been Michaela and I have gotten back on it, watching more DuckTales. DuckTales is fucking great. DuckTales is so we like shit ourselves with laughter like 18 times an episode. This show is not made for kids. It's made for like middle-aged parents who have little kids who they want to watch DuckTales because they remember DuckTales. But the show is made for the middle-aged parents.
Oh yeah.
So there's so many quick little bits. There's an entire episode about golf and like they're doing commentary and the commentary is fucking hilarious and kids wouldn't get that. Like, and there's these magical ponies who want to drown them but are really nice about it and they're just trying to lure them into the water to drown them constantly and they're like, yeah, no, we're good. And they're like, ah. And it's like, kids don't know, like what? Little kids don't get this.
I've never seen DuckTales, but
Nor have
I've
I.
heard lots about it.
It sounds
Never seen
wild.
it.
Don't bother with the old stuff because obviously, I mean, when there's new stuff, it's great. Lin-Manuel Miranda's in it. He plays Gizmo Duck.
That's pretty cool. Is
He's
he
great.
that? Wait, is he an uncle or something like that?
He's like a scientist who works shit out for Uncle Scrooge? No, Uncle Donald and Grandpa Scrooge, I think. But honestly, the cast of this is actually, it's fucking excellent. I'm not up to it yet, but at some point, Donald Duck, they give Donald something that fixes his voice, and he's played by
Don Cheadle.
Don Cheadle.
Oh my god.
So he stops his like, and then it's just Don Cheadle's voice. It's phenomenal.
Can we take Braden's little snippet of doing Donald Duck just then and make that like turn it into some sort of jingle for what we've been watching?
Why? It
That would
wasn't
be-
Donald Duck.
That would
just remix
that
it
was
into something.
shocking. That, like I didn't commit to it because I'm wearing glasses and headphones.
Do you want to give us one where you commit to it?
No. It'd be way too loud. I peak enough. I'm so loud anyway. Alex, what did you watch?
I watched a few things. I'm only going to talk about 3 of them because I cannot remember 3 of them.
Comedy.
Yeah, two of them were. I watched This Is the End. Thank you. Aw. Yeah,
I only have 3 more to mention anyway.
Oh yeah, I watched This Is the End.
Love it.
Yeah, first 20 minutes of that movie's great,
Yes.
and then the rest of it's like,
It's good
great.
the whole way through, but the first bit is
the first 20 minutes. Yeah, it's because it's just you're watching all the actors just be like parodies of themselves,
Yeah.
and then it's still great up until it's really really solid up until the exorcism of Jonah Hill.
There are moments in this film where you just you say them as a sentence and people would be like, bullshit, that's not a real thing.
There's the freaking there's 2 parts that make me die, and it's Danny McBride and James Franco's argument over jerking off in the house.
Yeah.
Where it's like, I come wherever I want to, Franco. So I've been dropping loads like a dump truck around this place all day. And it's just like you built a house with iPads on the wall and you're still jerking your dick like a pilgrim. And that's great. And then it's when Seth Rogen and Jay Baruchel they drop into the floor and then they're looking in the basement for water and they get scared by James Franco's cutout from Spider-Man 3.
Yes.
The part that I always got is that first night, and like is I think it's Jonah Hill just downstairs or someone. Oh no, Jay and someone, whoever's downstairs sleeping.
Yeah, it's Jay and then Seth Rogen appears.
Seth Rogen and then Jonah Hill appears.
Yeah.
And they get
Craig,
scared
Craig
every time.
Robinson's so
And
funny.
they
Craig
just get
Robinson's
scared every
hilarious.
time because like someone's just walking in and they end up just all cuddled up in the middle. Like
So many funny parts of that, like when they
whole
talk
Pineapple
about like
Express.
The parody, yeah,
Pineapple-
when they act it out as
Yeah,
well.
they
when
make
make that.
Pineapple Express, they make
And
a
Jonah Hill
trailer.
plays Woody Harrelson.
yeah. When Emma Watson appears and they talk about like the elf in the room, they're like, we should not give off a rapey vibes. Then they all start talking about like
Who's
gonna have the rapiest vibe?
Like who's got the
Rape-
rapiest vibe? And then she's just like, they're gonna rape me.
Oh my god. See, you say parts of this film and they don't sound real at all.
Wait, have you not seen it?
I've seen like half of
Oh,
it.
so there is a part where Jonah Hill is sleeping in a bed and a
He
demon
gets raped by a
appears
demon.
with a gigantic penis.
The
And
biggest.
what does he say? He's like praying. He's like, I
He's like,
think.
please kill.
He's like, I think
God,
Jay might be the worst
worst
person you've ever created.
He's like, what were you thinking on that day? And then he's just like, hey God, it's Jonah Hill from Moneyball.
But like they like no.
Oh, when Danny McBride rips into them, he's like, Jonah, you're an Academy Award nominated actor. It's like, Seth Rogen, that was a better performance in your last 3 movies. Where the hell was that in Green Hornet?
I do like just the whole like montage of Danny Bride like waking up and just
Oh,
like
with the Eastbound and Down.
the cook up and everything.
oh, that's so good.
I,
But
know,
even when
I always
like-
forget about Michael Cera.
He's like, James Franco didn't suck any dick last night. Now I know the world's going to, it's going to end.
I always forget about Michael Cera.
Michael Cera.
Michael Cera's at the start. I know
Because he's
that.
snorting coke, and then there's like a part
slaps Rihanna's off.
he's drinking a juice box and getting a blowjob in the
Yeah.
opposite
No, he's
side.
getting a blowjob and he's getting a rim job.
And he just offers us
That's
a juice
right.
box.
Jesus Christ.
And then the Superbad reunion. It's the best.
This film sounds so fake.
oh, it does.
But
It's
the only
just so
thing, the only
good.
problem with me is that it loses a bit of steam at the end when they leave the house, and
Yeah.
then there's all the demons.
The best part is when
Isn't it
Channing Tatum
in,
comes
like, a
up as the
gimp
gimp.
Yeah,
mask?
Channing Tatum is Danny
Danny
McBride's
McBride's
gimp,
gimp,
and
yeah.
who is now the leader of a cannibalistic cult.
Because it acts out the ending of Pineapple Express. He said, Danny
Yeah,
eats
and
me.
Danny
That
was
was what it
like,
is.
okay.
And he does.
Eats me.
Jesus
I actually quite like the joke where Jonah Hill it's just even a one-liner when he's like, he goes, who are they going to come for? Who's the first people they're going to say?
Actors.
Actors. George Clooney, Ellen DeGeneres.
I do like
Me,
how
you guys can probably come
I
and
just
join.
like how up themselves they act. Like
My favorite part is like when they're all like, we bring joy to millions and millions of people, and Jay Baruchel goes, but we get paid very handsomely for it, much more than any other
And then
profession.
Craig Robinson's like, you're outside, surfs up. He's just like in shorts. It's freezing.
even just the beginning, one of the first things you see is Seth Rogen and Jay get back to Seth's house, and there is just weed everywhere, and
the
they
best.
smoke. It's like joints in the word Jay.
Yeah. Well, would you look at that? We've just covered the entire movie.
It's so
Oh,
fun.
wow,
And then,
it's
well,
great.
no,
No,
it happened.
you
Not
see-
for the biggest thing at the end when the freaking Backstreet Boys rock
That
up.
started the return of
That's
their
in
career.
heaven. That's
yeah,
in
they're
heaven,
in heaven,
isn't it?
and they're like, Jay, you can show anything you want. And he's just like, and the
The Backstreet Boys appear.
But like that actually brought them back into like pop culture.
Mm-hmm.
Like they weren't in discussion at all. They were a joke, and now they're a joke, but they're relevant.
All right,
Yeah.
so I'm gonna quickly move on to the other two things to watch. It's good because I watched Due Date, and Due Date's not worth talking about that much.
It's funny though.
I can't
It's
say I've ever
funny.
seen
It's
it. I
funny.
can't say I've
It's
seen it.
it's fun watching Robert Downey Jr.
Downey
doing
and
something else.
Zach Galifianakis
Yeah.
as well.
Okay.
And the funniest part of the movie is when they drink his dead dad.
Yeah.
They drink the
He's-
ashes.
remember you
they
saying
think he
that the
thinks it's
other
coffee. He's like, this coffee tastes like shit because
Oh
he keeps
my
it in a
God.
canister.
Yep.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
so funny.
Jesus.
But then it gets really sad when he starts crying. 'cause
Yeah, it is a sad movie,
I
and
remember
it's
seeing
funny.
the trailer.
But it's very one of those like very blockbuster.
like
sort of,
Hangover.
yeah.
It's done by the same guy as Hangover.
Oh, okay.
That's why.
That doesn't surprise me.
And also, last thing I watched was Mad Max Fury Road because Mad Max Fury Road's the best.
Great film.
It's very good.
So it's so
That was so
fucking-
good to watch at the cinemas.
It's so crazy. It's good watching in 4K.
My dad didn't like it.
Oh, it's so good. My dad didn't like it either.
Yeah,
I
think
still
it's
remember when we saw that in the movie.
It's because it's so insane.
our
that
dads are the
parents
same
just,
people,
like-
and I
yeah.
think our dads have the like love for the original
I was
Mad
going to
Maxes.
say, are they the type who would have watched the original?
Yeah,
and
my
liked
dad
that?
likes.
I've
My
never
dad
seen
likes
the
two. Number
originals.
2's so good.
So like my only exposure to Mad Max is that first one, and it's just so crazy.
So Aussie.
It's
It's
great.
just-
But I would say that Mad Max Fury Road doesn't seem like a Mad Max movie, right?
it's
got the
definitely a
name.
reboot.
If you go in it expecting a Mad Max movie, you'll be disappointed because it's not really. There's no really. It's a storyline.
It's a car chase.
Exactly.
They didn't they just literally take the world from like Mad Max,
Yeah.
and then just
And
Did their
and,
own thing.
and then Tom Hardy does play the same character as Mel Gibson.
Oh, does he?
Yeah, Max
Okay.
Rokitansky.
Yeah.
No, but like
I never
it's-
played the game. I know you.
the
did.
game's so good.
Yeah, the game, like, weirdly,
It's the most sandbox game ever.
but it's the most, like, random thing to actually be good.
Mm.
Like, in a world where we don't get movie tie-in video games at all.
Well, if everyone
they-
wants to play, it's currently $11 on the PlayStation
I
Store.
think it was a free
was a
month
PS
a while
Plus
ago. I
game
think
a
I have
while
it.
ago.
I might need to just install it.
I didn't get it. I'll probably have to buy it for $11. That's fine.
Yeah, but
I mean,
will.
you've already played it.
I'll get it because I loved it. I
Yeah.
want to play it again. But yeah, like I mean, I can understand how my dad did not, especially rewatching it, where like especially the beginning, so insane.
It's just
When
kicks
everything,
off.
yeah,
like,
everything's like in far, like, and it's also sped up in the beginning, like a Guy Ritchie film.
yeah.
Jesus.
It's awesome. It's just a lot of fun. It does not feel like 2 hours. That's what I watched.
Yeah.
Other than playing Uncharted and watching Always Sunny.
Very nice, very nice. Well, I guess that leads us into our homework, Michael.
Well, hang on, we got a
does.
trailer.
Oh,
I write a
yes.
trailer.
Oh, there is.
American
a
Pickle.
Sorry, I did miss that.
yeah,
one, sorry.
what's this like?
This is
Tell me about it.
This is Seth Rogen. This is coming to HBO. It is Seth Rogen playing two characters.
It's called American Pickle as
Yeah.
well. Did we mention that?
Yeah,
you did.
Oh.
yeah, I did. Does anyone know anything about this movie?
No.
So it's like 100 years from now, like 100 years ago from now.
Oh, okay.
Seth Rogen plays a Russian immigrant who gets a job at an American pickle factory, who falls and drowns into pickle juice, and then the pickle juice preserves him for 100 years. Where in present day he now is brought back to life and meets his great grandson. I think it's great.
Oh my
something
God.
like that.
Who was played by Seth Rogen.
Oh my
I get it
God.
because like they look somewhat similar.
And honestly, you may be like, this is going to be a dumb Seth Rogen comedy. It looks like it's got some real, like,
good moments.
real good moments.
All
in
right,
it.
this sounds actually. I'm quite excited for
because
this now.
it's
it
like,
scares me though because it's got such like Eddie Murphy, Adam Sandler vibes.
it's
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
legit just like, because one of them's Russian, the other one's just Seth Rogen. So Seth Rogen putting on a Russian accent
yeah.
with,
Oh,
and
can you imagine
It could
how
be
many
shit.
like sort of
It could be
pickle
very
jokes
shit.
are
it
gonna be tied
honestly
into
seems
this?
like a coming of age movie. Like he's
Interesting.
like, what are you doing with your life? This is not what everyone wanted. And there's a great scene in the trailer where he's just got like a David Bowie poster with 4 different pictures of David Bowie on it, and he goes, "Is this your father?" He's like, "No, it's David Bowie." And no, it's fine. Is this your mother? He's like, "No, they're actually all David Bowie."
Okay, I like that.
Just very quickly, just when I saw American Pickle and you said it's a Seth Rogen thing, my mind immediately went,
Animated.
"Oh, is this
weed.
going to be a sequel to?" No, I'm not
Sausage
you,
Party,
Michael.
Sausage Party.
It's a Sausage Party. I was like, "Is this
That's a
going to be
fair
a sequel?"
connection.
Yeah, that's fair.
What did we think of Sausage Party? Very quickly, I'm curious. Have we
I
spoken
loved it
about
when it first came out, but now rewatching it, I'm just like, this has one joke in it, and that's you're
Yeah.
watching animated characters.
It was
for
very-
and South Park have done that.
It was
Yeah.
it was fun the first time.
That
and
ending, the very
The
end,
orgy?
the orgy.
So
Jesus
I read
Christ.
the script 2 years before it came out because the script leaked online.
Ah.
I was like, I want to read this, and that script is way more bonkers than the actual movie.
definitely had to cut it. Yeah,
That's
because we saw
terrifying.
it,
Yeah,
seen it?
and it was fun. And
it's
I've
actually worth watching.
I've seen it a couple more times. I feel like it has a bit of a novelty. Like
You really-
that first time, you're just kind of taken away by all the shit they say and do.
And also, everyone's in it.
Yeah,
everyone's
Edward
in it.
Norton
Actually-
playing a bagel, a Jewish bagel.
It's so
Who
funny, the
plays
stereotypes.
like,
Even the
tortilla
douche.
wrap thing?
Selma Hayek. No, wait, who is the tortilla?
There's the douche. Was that Nick Kroll?
Nick
that
Kroll's
played?
the
Nick Kroll's a douche.
The
Fuck's
tortilla.
I don't even have to watch this movie to know that Nick Kroll plays the fucking
Yeah,
dude.
You
know which one I'm
the
talking
tortilla,
about?
the Arab one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. The
plays the
the
tortilla?
the fatouche? No.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
the fatouche, isn't it?
is
It's
it
the
no?
fatouche.
Oh god.
Seth
this is
Rogen,
gonna-
Kristen Wiig, James Franco, Michael Cera, Nick Kroll, Jonah Hill, Edward Norton, Conrad Vernon, Selma Hayek, Bill Hader, David Krumholtz, Paul Rudd, Danny McBride, Craig
It might
Robinson,
be David Krumholtz.
Anders Holm, Lauren Miller, Stephanie
Yeah,
Beard.
Paul Rudd's in it. Paul Rudd plays the shop clerk.
What's his name? What's the freaking the pitta? It's not a pitta. It's an Arab
It's
pitta.
it's an Arab
But
bread.
it's-
I'll look it
it's-
up.
Thank you. What I've actually an underrated part is when they go to meet the Native American.
Like
Is it Brett?
the
And he's
Hey,
like,
how are you? Hey, how are you? Hey, how are you?
that whole
That
the
bit just gets me.
imperishables. Is that what they call themselves?
Yes.
the imperishables.
Twinkie.
That's right.
Yeah.
And filming in the freezer like it's a battlefield with all the fog around them.
So
No,
funny.
no. When the
You should watch it.
is
Brady.
when
It's
the
so
is it when
not
the
my
flower,
kind of
when
movie.
when's the whole
It's
like
so funny.
PTSD like Saving Private Ryan sort of thing? Is
Yeah,
that
Yeah.
Flower Falls.
Flower Falls.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
James Franco plays the druggie.
it's so not my kind of movie.
Bill Hader
I'm
plays
sorry, guys. but
the Indian, the tequila.
Tequila.
The
That's
tequila.
right.
Oh, that's right. It was with Flower Falls, not in a freezer. Did anything happen in a freezer?
I can't remember. I feel like something did. It rings a bell, but the flower falls and it's like the full like Saving Private
Yeah.
Ryan like PTSD sort of scene.
Oh,
Who
it's
the hell
just
is
it's funny.
the freaking
Frickin'.
All right, let me try and
yeah.
find out.
While you find that, I guess I will move
Kickstart
into
our
homework
homework
I
segment.
mean, I know Danny McBride's honey mustard. Is it lavish? You said lavish.
Lavosh,
Right?
Lavosh.
That's David Krumholtz.
There we go. Lavosh, not Fatouche.
And Michael Cera playing the little half sausage.
That's right.
It's very funny. It's actually quite funny, just the concept of it. The actual movie, like, it's funnier talking about it than watching it.
Well, because he had read the script, he just literally pitched it to me one day. He's like, all right, we're going to go watch this. This is what it is. I was like, okay. But yeah, for homework, we watched Haunted Mansion.
Haunted Mansion,
Disney's
2003.
Eddie Murphy.
Eddie Murphy, based on the
So the Disney park.
I
ride.
had, all right, so it was kind of a spur of the moment on the top of my head. I hadn't kind of found anything at the time because I hadn't logged into anything on my phone. And it was on the top of my head because I saw it on Disney Plus a few days prior. I hadn't watched it since I was a kid. That's why I chose it. There's no
there's no
secret
major
meaning.
connection.
no
or
secret
anything.
meaning.
meaning.
Like I saw it once or twice as a kid, and I remembered a fair bit about it. Surprisingly,
Wow, I did not miss the planes because of COVID.
Yeah, actually, you know what? I hadn't thought about
I didn't
that.
think about it either.
All our recordings were planeless,
Yeah.
and now that it's starting to ease up here in Adelaide, SA, fucking we're going to have planes over
We're just getting
again.
rid of all the Melburnians until the borders shut.
Yeah,
and
they
we
can piss off.
But yes,
tonight,
The Victorians, not just the Melbourne.
Haunted
All those
Mansion.
Vics
Haunted
over here.
Mansion.
I remember some
Mansion?
stuff. Yes.
I remember the beginning of this film a lot.
Yeah,
I
you said
remember.
that.
I remember the him trying to teach his son how to, it's got to roll up and with a forearm to bang it, and then the daughter comes in and just hits it.
I watched this movie at we had it on VHS at home. We watched it all the time. I remember the entire movie. Like I quoted it. I loved it. Watching it now, I mean, look, I
It's fine.
recognize
it's definitely, it's just fine.
It's a
It-
2 out
as
of
a
5.
kids movie, it's fun.
What rating does it have as a good?
I gave
rating?
it 2.5.
It average sits at a 2.5. So
I gave it 2.5.
yeah,
I think you guys gave it 2, but I have the nostalgia for it. I gave it Love Heart too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you definitely have watched it a lot more because the first time I ever watched it was at like one of my friend's house. He kind of just had it in already, like as it must have been. I think it was a DVD, but he already had it in, and he just kind of turned the TV on. So we watched it.
you just end up watching.
and then
it.
I watched it one other time. Maybe I borrowed it from the video store.
yeah.
Rip
I was gonna
I don't
say,
mind the
but-
score in this. The music-
14% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, I know it's
Yeah,
harsh.
but you
It's-
guys were saying it's pretty much built for a Disney ride.
Yeah, so this whole thing, so I was the entire time the film was going, and in the slightly not as interesting parts, I was reading IMDb trivia, so I know heaps about this film now. There's actually a scene where the one where he comes out the painting when he opens the painting up and steps out. That's actually there's lines on the floor because that's the rails of the track
ride.
of the
Oh,
ride.
okay.
And it's based on the Haunted Mansion, but it's actually the storyline is more or less based on the Haunted Mansion in Disneyland Paris.
okay.
Don't know that's not relevant to anything really, but I just thought it was fun.
It's got
I mean,
very adult. Like when you think about the story, is they think that this chick is like his wife who he thinks killed herself,
Yeah.
but in
Oh,
actual
yeah.
fact, this guy murdered her.
20 seconds into this film, you see someone hang themselves.
And then, he kills himself out of grief. Like, that is a very adult,
That's not a
Yeah.
kid's thing.
no.
This film really walks the line.
Accompanied with the scream at the beginning as well.
It's just, it's a
It was-
lot.
and also the movie just started really fast too.
Yeah, yeah. I like it. I like the whole like selling the house. He's like, we want you happy evers and evers.
I love
I really love
the parts that I love the most, and my favorite part of the film is when like some people have a pool, some people have a cemetery, and then she just gives a reason. Like they start pitching how they would sell it.
Yeah, the entire time they're like, yeah, you did this place up a little bit and everything. It's like, oh man, this place is great. And the guy's like, oh, like, do you believe in ghosts? And he's like, maybe talk about how many bathrooms there are. Like, that kind of humor. Like Eddie Murphy,
And
like
I really-
he's not for everyone. Michaela's not really into him, but
I think he's
that kind
funny.
of humor, he
See,
gets me.
I'd watched quite a few Eddie Murphy movies as a kid, so I found him funny. That I haven't really watched heaps nowadays as I've grown up. So,
Well, he kind of stopped a bit too.
He
but
was
yeah,
our
but I haven't like,
childhood,
rewatched much of
though.
his.
Hey,
old
Meet
stuff.
Dave was great.
He did.
I saw that in the movies
Same.
with my grandma.
Same.
Bless you guys.
Oh, your grandma, my grandma.
Wait, you know my grandma?
Yeah, but he was our childhood. But
Yeah,
then,
he really
like,
was.
Daddy
Meet Dave is
Daycare.
awful, but
Daddy Daycare is like
Daddy
the
Daycare is
one.
peak.
Peak.
you know what? Daddy Day Camp is bad, but it was.
I see. I've never seen that
I
one.
haven't seen it either.
I did also watch it. I do not remember anything from it though.
Because like the one thing, and I used to do it all the time as a kid. You put the lime in the
coconut
coconut.
and mix it.
There's a
up.
lot of stuff
The
from those
childhood
films
is
that
very
we would know.
different. See, Reservoir Dogs taught me that as a child.
Yeah, well, I've still never watched.
Well,
it.
I gotta
At the age
say-
of 22. So
Speaking of thinking of things we shouldn't have watched as a child, but we did. Eddie Murphy, Delirious, his stand-up from the 80s.
Well, I didn't watch that as a kid.
I didn't watch that.
I didn't watch either.
I watched that as a kid. I
I've still
learned
never
a
seen
lot.
it. So
There is an entire. This is the part that really irked me while I was watching this whole film. There's a part in Delirious where he talks about how he put on the TV in his hotel room and Poltergeist was on. And he's just like, that is the most white person thing ever. I cannot understand you being in this house, coming in. Like, if a black family came in, they'd be like, oh man, this place looks lovely. This is absolutely great. Man, I can't wait. There's a school nearby. I can't wait to raise our kids here. Get out. Well, too bad we can't stay. Instead, like, this white family are just like, oh, our daughter's on the ceiling. That's fine.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it's like, now we're going to watch Eddie Murphy and a black family just waltz around with all these ghosts and everything. It goes against his entire joke.
It's like, I just think as a kid's movie, it is. I loved it as a kid. I loved it. It was like it was just the best.
It's adventure. It's fun. Like,
Yeah.
the sequences where like you see all the ghosts and stuff, and then like the zombies, which were actually kind of like for a kid probably really scary.
When
yeah,
he's
no, I can't remember like the points. Like I didn't remember them like watching it this time.
Yeah.
But I do remember as a kid there was a couple of parts that scared me, but also the troll in Harry Potter 1 scared me. So
Yeah.
when,
It's alright,
when
scary
Eddie Murphy's
troll.
when Eddie Murphy's wife, that is scarier. That when Eddie Murphy's wife takes on the form of Elizabeth at the very end and kisses
Yeah.
the guy,
And
then Eddie
Murphy's
Murphy's
it's
just
okay,
like,
it's not your mom.
and then he's like,
Yeah,
yeah,
he's
it's my
like-
wife, it's my wife, dude.
Yeah, firstly he's to the kids. He's like, "It's not your mom. No." And then he's like, "Okay, you stop it."
Actually, that kind of takes me back to the beginning of the movie when you were talking about pitching the house. When he
Yeah.
finally realizes the truth and he goes, "What? This guy's trying to get jiggy with my wife."
Yes. Oh
and
my
the house
God.
isn't ready for sale.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
I'm upset.
Oh my God. It was all those little bits of humor. Like, it's so quintessentially Eddie Murphy, but I love it.
I like
It's
it.
so
I like one of my favorite. Other good, one of the parts I really liked was at the beginning where he just sells those couple's house. He goes to give them the forms to sign, and they just want you to shut up.
Oh my God. Fun fact
Yeah.
about that stupid happy anniversary song that they sing. That is an actual thing that Disney used to advertise the Disneyland Park and Resort anniversary. They had a child singing that on a radio ad. Can you imagine how insufferable that would have been?
The one I remember the most is the one from Emperor's New Groove, when they're in the restaurant, and it's like happy birthday.
Yes, that's the quintessential best happy birthday in any film.
I know to watch Emperor's New Groove again. I love that
Yeah,
movie.
That is a good movie. I watched that way too late. Like I was
Oh,
out of
that
high
was-
school when I
that
watched it
was
for the
the
first
child.
time.
That was the one I always. I had
was-
the PS1 game.
Oh hell yeah!
I still have the PS1 game.
Alex is like, I was playing it yesterday.
I was
after
out of high
Uncharted.
school, maybe year 12. At the
So you
earliest.
would have got
Whoa,
so
David
many more
Spade's
jokes.
So funny in that
It-
movie.
See,
I love it.
Like I've watched Kronk's New Groove. I
I
can't
haven't seen
remember it,
Kronk's New Groove.
but I've only watched that when I was younger.
Anybody,
but
watch
the
TV
thing,
show?
I was gonna
Oh,
say,
Emperor's New School was the
Emperor's
best.
New School. I love that.
Yeah, I watch that all the time.
Oh,
So
it was
good.
funny.
So good, so good.
But Braden,
Yeah, I want to mention like overall thoughts in the end. It was like for me, I didn't have any nostalgia connected to it. The best part for me was Eddie Murphy, and I was just sort of for the rest of it like this is for people who have been to the park and get all the references and see all the stuff, and then like reading the references, I was like, oh, if I knew that like and had a connection to it, that'd probably be pretty cool.
Yeah.
But I was just sort of like, and Eddie Murphy's funny.
So what'd you give it?
I gave it a 2 because I was like,
You said it before.
I gave it 2.5. I just, I think if your kid isn't a scaredy cat, then it's quite entertaining to watch.
but you also had like probably the most nostalgic.
Yeah,
out
I
of
loved it.
all of us.
Yeah, I gave it a 2.
I gave it a 2 as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
So there we go. Pretty
The whole time.
pretty even across the board.
Yep. It's a 2000s kids film.
2003.
And Braden, what are we watching?
So this coming week, we're going to be settling in. I assume everyone here has Stan because it's streaming on Stan.
Yes.
We are going to be watching a fun old movie called Fargo.
Love it.
yes.
Never seen
Okay.
Fargo.
never
this is
seen
going
it
to be
either.
good.
I haven't seen the movie. I've seen
haven't
the show.
seen the
I love
movie?
the show.
Ooh.
Okay.
I watched the first season of the show.
I'm
I
quite
haven't watched the
excited.
rest of it.
I think
So,
you're all going to
will-
really like the
Will
movie.
it be as good as?
I somehow ended up picking something good.
Yeah,
I'm the
yes.
only one
Good
who's
choice.
seen it. So
Francis
this is,
McDormand.
yes, and Steve Buscemi.
How
And
old's the
William
movie?
H. Macy.
80s, okay.
It is the 80s. Sorry?
William H. Macy too.
William H. Macy as well. Yeah, it's really
I'm
good.
pretty excited to watch this.
Yeah, well, if it's as good as the first season of that show, and in the third season too, it was great.
It's different.
Which one's
I will say
Ewan
it's
McGregor
different,
in?
but it's
Third season.
Season
quite
2 is weird
different,
'cause
but it's
aliens
the
come.
same.
They do not listen
They
to
don't,
you
they
at
don't
all.
care. It's different, but it's still got the Minnesota vibe.
Does it still come up with the fake true story warning?
No.
Oh, damn it. I love the fuck.
Yeah, I've only watched the first season of the show, and all I can ever take is, oh yeah.
I don't think it does
Just,
anyway.
just,
yeah.
just the,
Oh, yeah.
the accent.
Oh,
I watched
oh,
it
yeah.
ages ago, like when I was at least maybe, I don't want to say 10 years ago. That'll get my dad in trouble.
Oh, you see there.
I
Oh,
watched it when I
yeah.
was quite young.
Oh,
Fair. Alrighty.
Fargo.
let's settle in. By the next show, I expect everyone to do a perfect accent.
I am not practicing
No,
that.
I don't do accents.
we all just shot that down.
Wow, cool.
You
Fun.
can do it.
Fun, cool. Thanks, guys. Cool. Funny joke that we could have had.
If we can
Oh,
do
yeah.
Minnesota, if you
Oh,
can
yeah.
do your Donald Duck, I want like the proper.
You want the full proper?
Actually, you know what?
not
I
now.
still don't think I'll
Let's
do the
not do it.
Minnesota accent.
No, I'm not
Yeah,
gonna
let's not do it now.
No, it's very loud. I won't do it. It's so loud.
Yeah, don't do it. Don't
and
do
it would echo so much in here. It would be ridiculous.
One day I'll hear it. Not
One
in
day,
this. Not in
an
this.
open space.
Yeah.
Not
Just go stand in the middle of
enclosed.
an oval.
In an open field.
Yeah.
Right.
With a megaphone. Oh no, that'd be horrible. Yeah. Thank you all
there
for
we
joining
go.
us
That's
Thank
it.
you.
for
Another episode done.
episode 65 of Millennial Movie Talk. Make sure
4
to
more episodes.
check out our Patreon, patreon.com/Millennial Movie Talk.
Oh.
Send us to space.
Should we say what's happening next for the next episode?
Yes, we should.
No, yeah, we can say it. For the fourth time, fifth technically, but you didn't see that first one.
Steph isn't going to be here.
Yeah, Steph won't be here. That's it.
That's all. Nothing else is happening.
No,
I didn't know about
we
this.
have reached out to our good friend over at More Than Enough and his new YouTube channel, Jacob Shao.
Yeah.
Jacob's coming back on the show for the fourth time.
Sweet.
It's been
Very
about a year.
exciting.
It's
The
been
man,
about a
the
year
myth, the
since he's been
legend.
on.
He's done a lot with his life so far.
Yes.
He's
Because he's not with pretty much.
he's just left that, and he's doing an amazing job over on his own, and obviously with the guys from More Than Enough.
They got their own podcast, so it'll be interesting to talk to them about that. Why they started
And
that,
he's
how
in
they got
Texas, last I checked.
started.
Really?
Is he?
Is he not in the?
Yeah,
he's
instead
not,
of New
not in
York.
New York right now.
I mean, not a
I
very
thought
good
he
place
might
to
have
be at
gone
the
back
moment.
I thought he might have
mean-
gone back to Cali.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he tried to smuggle himself out of the fucking
I
country.
thought he was in New York.
Last I checked, he was in Texas.
Well, maybe we
But-
can ask him.
I've got
We
to
can
update
ask him
my
what he's
GPS
been up to
tracker,
with
you
COVID.
know.
Yeah.
He might have thrown the GPS tracker on like a pigeon or something, and it might have flown away. And now he's in
Where will I
Texas.
be today?
Yeah, you know what? Someone locate Jacob Shao for us, please. We just want to make sure he's safe. But yeah, that's it. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook and stuff. Subscribe on YouTube. Follow on all the podcasty stuff wherever the hell you're listening to this, and share it with your friends if you think
That's us.
If you think that don't just share it at us. We do the show. Share it with your actual friends. Not that we're not your actual friends. It's fine. Just share it with people, please.
Share it with me.
You know, because it'd be nice if we
full
could
circle.
build a bit of a community, and if we could
Great show.
start doing every fifth week for homework, we do audience submitted homework.
Oh, yeah.
That could be a
have-
fun
do
thing.
we have audience? Hello.
Only if they've got taste.
It will vet them. It's not like they're gonna be like, "Oh, I want you to watch
Nah, we're gonna-
Nymphomaniac Volume 2.
every fifth
Like-
episode, we're gonna pick one from a hat.
What's wrong
we
with
have to watch it.
Nymphomaniac
Do
Volume
you know what
2?
I
I
was
don't know.
gonna
I
say?
haven't watched it.
For my,
I haven't
next week
either.
one, everyone stuck me with one. I was going to pick it from a hat, but
All
you
right,
stole my
4
idea.
conversations are happening at once, so let's round it off.
2. There's only
Thank you, everybody.
4 of us.
I've been Braden.
I've been Alex,
I'm Michael.
I'm Steph.
and we're out of here.